higit-anim na dekada sa paglilingkod sa masang Pilipino. Sa Metro Manila, ito ang Dzxl 558 Radyo Trabaho, ang inyong gabay sa hanap buhay. Bayanihan laban sa COVID-19. Dzxl 558 Radyo Trabaho Special Coverage.
Alas 12:43 mga kasama ng magandang hapon. Ako pong inyong radyoman Rod Marcelino at mga kasama mamaya-maya ng konti ating pong ihahatid sa inyo ang special coverage. Ito'y kaugnay mga kasama sa Senate hearing on resumption of public transport na kung saan mga kasama bilang paghahanda na po ito para kung sakasakali man po pumunta na ho tayo sa general community quarantine. At ang isa sa mga papayagan na pong makapag-operate dyan ay yung mga pampublikong sasakyan. At yan po ang pinag-uusapan ngayon mga kasama sa Senado, especially ang mga hagbang at paraan para mga kasama nandun pa rin sinusunod yung tinatawag na social distancing at makontrol nila yung mga pasahero at mapigilan yung paghahawaan. At syempre, yung pagbibigay din ng tulong sa mga operators and drivers, mga kasama na mga pampublikong sasakyan kasi sa ilalim po ng GCQ, ang isa sa mga tinitignan nila nga po pwedeng gawin para mapigilan mga kasama yung pagkadikit-dikit ng mga tao sa loob po ng mga pampublikong sasakyan ay yung pagpapatupad ng pagbawas ng pasahero sa original number of passengers sa loob po ng isang jeep o sa loob po ng isang bus. So ang isa po sa mga nakikitang epekto din po dyan ng mga operator at ng mga tsuper ay yung kita po nila. Opo. Kaya may mga hinihingi din po sila sa ating pamahalaan para nang sa ganon mga kasama, hindi din po sila lubang maapektuhan. Kung sakasakali, magbalik operasyon na po ang sektor ng transportasyon. Ang isa sa mga hinihingi nila ay yung fare increase. Magkakaroon na naman ng dagdag sa pamasahe. Na yan po ay hindi naman sumasang-ayon ang DOTR and even the LTFRB. Pero mayroon po silang mga sinasuggest din, especially yung pagbibigay po ng fuel subsidy. But anyway, mga kasama, pakinggan ho natin ang Senate hearing on resumption of public transport.
Bayanihan laban sa COVID-19. Dzxl 558 Radyo Trabaho Special Coverage.
Okay. So thank you very much, Madam Chair. I will no longer ask questions on buses and jeeps, maybe at the rail later on, and shipping. Thank you very much.
Actually, thank you, Senator Rack. Before we proceed with Senator Bong Revilla's questions, I would like to ask something in relation to subsidies, because I understand that Secretary Bello of Dole, which I'd like to thank for attending our online hearing today, has to attend. He has to attend. Oh, he had left already. Kasi tatanungin sana natin tungkol dito sa Tupad program dahil ang narinig natin, yung mga names ng mga displaced bus drivers ay nasubmit ng mga bus companies. Pero nag-announce na ang Dole na wala na silang pera para sa Tupad program. Meron pa bang representative ang Dole sa ngayon dito sa hearing natin? Wala na. Wala na itong isang bagay na dapat natin
Can give you some figures, Joel, Madam Chair.
In relation to this, yes, Senator Joel.
Yes, Madam Chair, first of all, I would like to thank Senator Recto for raising those questions because most of my questions were already answered. But I wanted to ask some clarificatory questions. But before that, let me give you, Madam Chair, the programs being implemented by DOLE. There are 3 programs for the formal sector, yung COVID-19 Adjustment Measures Program. And ito po yung pagbibigay ng 5,000 sa mga empleyado na hindi makaalis at hindi makabiyahe at po pwedeng bigyan ng ayuda ng ating pamahalaan. 5,000 po ito at yung isa naman yung binabanggit ni Madam Chair, yung tupad o tulong pangkabuhayan para sa ating mga disadvantaged, displaced workers. Ito naman po ay trabaho for 10 days at binibigyan ng sweldo according dun sa minimum wage rate ng kanilang lugar. So ito pong dalawang ito, Madam Chair, no, yung camp for instance, ang target beneficiaries is 349,354. But the actual is 344,805. In the latest report, 98.7% accomplished na po ito, Madam Chair. The allocation is 1.7 billion. Doon naman sa tupad, 220,320 po yung actual na pinatarget at as of this time, 93.4% o 966.5 million as allocated ay 93% po dyan ay accomplished na. So Madam Chair, halos wala na pong lugar para makapag-implement, continue mag-implement ang ating DOLE dito sa dalawang programa na ito. And that's why we have been sounding like a broken record because if you look at the request of DOLE, 7.8 billion po yan. Ang na-release pa lang po up to this time is 4.2 billion. So I hope matignan po natin yan at ng ating pamahalaan para nang sa ganoon makatulong din po itong dalawang programa na ito na maaaring mabigyan ng ayuda ang ating mga kababayan sa transport sector. If I may, Madam Chair, no, we were talking about on another note, if it's okay with you, if I could go to my clarificatory question.
Sure, regarding what, Senator Joel, in relation to our discussion?
Yes, in
I'm
relation to
also
our
going to say that,
discussion.
if Secretary Bello is back online, please identify that you, please let us know that you are online again. I heard that you're about to come back. Senator Joel, go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. This is more of a clarificatory questions for the DOTR road sector to the transport sector. We have been talking about safety and preparation, and I think all of us would agree that as we open our economy, especially in Metro Manila, hindi naman dapat bigla, so dahan-dahan. That's why we have been saying also, magandang tignan yung sectoral approach as being espoused by the UP Economic Society, and at the same time, yung other countries are doing the same thing. But be thou as it may, we are looking about at different categories. Ang first question ko lang, just to be clarified, yung 30% na sinasabi natin, are there napapayagan no, sakaling malift na itong from ECQ to GCQ? Itong 30% po ba na ito, ang tinitignan lamang natin dito, workers lamang po, itong 30% na ito?
Senator Joel, who are you directing your question to?
To the DOTR road sector, because we are talking kanina, Madam Chair, as propounded by our distinguished colleague from Cavite, if we're talking about 250,000 workers, are we ready for it? So now the 30% that we're talking about, napapayagan po natin, are they all workers?
If I may.
Go ahead, DOTR.
Yeah, this is
Oh, LTFRB. Yes.
Yes. Yes, Chairman Delgra.
yes po, if I may.
Yes, please.
Kami po yung nagbanggit ng porsyento ng mga populasyon na pwedeng lumabas at kukuha ng public transport. We're not, well, probably mostly workers will be going out to work, but we're not also discounting other people who may be allowed to work, but with fewer options to go out of their houses because of restricted activities. Be that
Okay.
as it may, we already have made some computations also on our capacity to address the expected demand, depressed as it may be. We are looking at, insofar as across the modes of public transport, from buses, P2P, PUJ, UV, and shuttle service, in the numbers that we're looking at, sapat po siya na tutugon doon sa expected demand. Among other things, you might be wondering why sapat, given yung sinasabi natin kaninang yung dati na ayaw na natin balikan, yung turnaround na matagal. Yung rationalization of the bus routes actually will increase the number of trips per route. And for whoever will run that route, whether it be a bus or a jeepney, hopefully will take in more passenger because of the increase in the number of trips. Yun po ang paningin namin dito. So we're not just looking at demand in relation to the number of units, but rather making the use of this unit efficient so that it can run regularly to address demand, even in the short term and even in the immediate term.
Well, thank you, Chairman Delgrano, and I appreciate your answer. I'd like to put on record that we support yung rationalization. But when you talk about the 30%, so you're saying it's not just workers but also yung mga publiko na nangangailangan lumabas. And if we talk about workers, we also wanted to point out ito lamang yung mga essential sectors. Now, what I wanted to emphasize is the fact that if, for example, a company would have a mechanism na kanina binabanggit nyo po, yung paggamit ng shuttle buses ng point to point, siguro kahit hindi siya ganoon ka masyadong essential yung sektor niya, ngunit maayos naman po yung kanilang kalagayan.
Present ako, Senator, present.
Inyo pong papayagan at nirerekomenda na to go on, Mr. Chairman?
In answer to the question of Senator Villanueva, yes po. In fact, we're encouraging the use of shuttle service. But then again, there are limitations as to how they travel. As mentioned earlier, there are challenges from GCQ to GCQ. Pwede naman din po. Pero mahirap naman din po na from GCQ, we don't allow to pass through the public transport through GCQ area para makakarating doon sa kabilang dulo na GCQ area. Yun po yung mga challenges na nakikita natin dito. In general, sa public transport system po.
Senator Joel,
yes.
Secretary Bello has already indicated that he's back online. Maybe we can direct our questions to him now before he leaves again.
Okay, I will defer to the Secretary of Labor. Kanina ako yung naging spokesperson mo, Secretary.
Ay, thank you, Senator.
Okay, go ahead. Yung question ko muna, no, tapos sa kay Senator Joel yung ibang follow-up. I'm sure he's more knowledgeable about this. Kasi yung mga pangalan ng mga bus drivers po na submit sa inyo, yung March pa lang. Pero ang sinasabi, the names were submitted by bus companies for assistance in TUPAD program, but you've announced that you no longer have funds. Ilang porsyento po ba ng mga bus drivers natin ang hindi nabigyan ng tulong dito sa TUPAD program? At ano pong magagawa natin ngayon? Wala na po ba talagang pondo itong TUPAD?
Actually, Senator, yung mga bus drivers, they are the responsibility of the Department of Transportation and DSWD. Kasi tinanggal na po sa amin yung TUPAD, yung tulong panghanap buhay sa mga disabled. Nilipat po sa DSWD. So nawala na po sa amin yon. Kaya hindi po namin na-cover po yung mga transport drivers po.
Actually, yun din ang pagkakaalam ko. Parang sa DOTR talaga dapat yung mga subsidy nun, di ba? Pati sa LTFRB. Sige, so moving along, Senator Joel, being the chair of the Labor Committee, do you have any other follow-up questions? I think that's pretty clear that bus drivers are not under the TUPAD program for now.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Secretary Bello, we made mention kanina of the reports given to us by DOLE, yung CAMP, yung TUPAD, 90 plus percent, 98% yung isa, yung camp, 93% yung tupad. So, ang tanong ko lang po, Secretary, binanggit ko po kasi kanina na ang hiningi ninyong pondo ay 7.8 billion pero ang na-release lang ay 4.2 billion. Ang tanong ko po, yung natitira po ba, ano ho ba ang pag-uusap ninyo with DBM? I-release pa ho ba ito para ma-attain ninyo yung request ninyo na 7.8 billion? At kung na-release naman po, ilan pa ho yung matatarget dito sa natitira na programa po ninyo?
Thank you, Senator. Actually, doon sa sinabi niyong ni-release, yung 4 billion, 1.5 billion went to our OFWs. Yung 2.5 billion went to our camp project, yung COVID-19 Adjustment Measure Program.
Yes.
We were targeting about 700 workers, Senator, based on the submission of the employers. Ngayon, while we were processing mga papers of the employers, nagkaroon ng sumobra yung mga workers submitted by the employers. But we were able to pay from the funds given as Senator about 3.167 billion.
Yes.
Given to about 633,000 workers. Meron pa kaming utang na 105 million na lang, Senator, due to about 20,000 na lang po na workers. Meron kaming na-process na 1 million plus, Senator. Kaya lang inabutan na nga yung shortage ng funds namin. So we informed them na wala ng pondo. What we can do to help you, namin, is to refer you to the Department of Finance, which has a small business wage subsidy program together with SSS and BIR. Kaya doon na po sila pupunta. Although in the meantime, Senator, humingi pa rin kami ng additional funding just in case they will change their mind and allow us to pay off yung 1 million plus na workers.
Clarify, Secretary, 4.2 billion lamang yung na-release out of the 7.8 billion na inyong ni-request. And as I recall, ito po ay approved na supposed to be, itong 7.8 billion. Again, 4.2 billion lang ang na-release at you're still waiting.
4.2 billion lang po na-release, Senator. Kaya nga meron kaming additional request for additional 5 billion actually, Senator, kasi aside from yung yung kulang namin sa camp, meron din kaming ini-expect dahil yun hiningi namin 1.5 billion for our OFW, lumalabas, Senator, na kinakapos na. Kasi so far na bayaran namin ay mga umaabot na ng more than 1 billion. Mga kulang na lang siguro ng mga 300 million, Senador, maubos na yung pundo. And there are more. There are about, yung estimate namin of 150,000 OFW, ang nag-apply po ay 370,000. Kaya anticipating na yung mga nag-apply will qualify, makakapusin na naman yung pundo namin. So we ask for additional funds from the DBM and from the Office of the President.
Secretary, nararamdaman ko yung nararamdaman po ninyo, and just to put on record that I personally know what's going on with the program of DOLE. Ito pong camp, ito pong tupad, and transparent yan, pinaka-effective, pinaka-efficient, and I hope that our government will heed the request of the DOLE family. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator. Maraming salamat po.
I think that Senator Sherwin Gatchalian has a question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I just have one question, and this is regarding the social amelioration or assistance to individuals in crisis for PUVs and TNVS. My question is directed to Yusek Mark, Madam Chair. Base doon po sa 6th report ng ating Pangulo, only 44.9% pa lang ang natutulungan nating mga TNVS at PUV drivers. out of the 90,000, 40,000 pa lang yung natutulungan, 50,000 di pa natutulungan. In fact, yung sarili naming transport cooperative sa Senado, lumapit sa akin at hindi pa rin sila nabibigyan ng tulong. No? Pero may pondo naman. Ang government nag-allocate ng almost 720 million pesos. Hindi pa lang nabibigay sa mga tao. Yusek Mark, ano bang nangyari dito? Bakit halos 50,000 ng mga TNVS at drivers ang hindi pa natutulungan?
Mr. Chair, Ms. Chair, just to clarify po, yung DOTR at DFRP, ang pinaka-role lang po niya dito sa Social Amelioration Program for drivers is to submit the list of drivers, no, the qualified drivers to DSWD. So if we can refer the question po to DSWD to provide the specific answer, dahil po sila po yung nangangasiwa nung pag-distribute po ng pera sa mga qualified drivers po.
Yeah, but Yusek, my point there, nabigay nyo ba yung names, yung 90,000 names?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. Ang LTFRB po ay nakapagbigay na ng at least, if I remember it right, 390,000 names of drivers already to DSWD. And I think si DSWD can also verify kung ilan na po dito sa 390,000 yung kanilang na-validate. Because I understand po, yung DSWD is double-checking, cross-checking, cross-matching against their list of 4Ps beneficiaries. Ayaw po kasi natin na mag-duplicate yung kanilang mga subsidies. And it's the DSWD po who decides kung sino po yung mabibigyan based on the list that is submitted by LTFRB.
Alam ko, Yusek, hindi nyo trabaho yung mag-disperse, no? But itong mga drivers at TNVS bilang constituency ng DOTR, paki-follow up na rin po ito dahil napakinggan ko kanina na ini-impose natin napakadaming modification sa sasakyan ng mga drivers natin. Maglalagay ho sila ng hand sanitizers, maglalagay ng thermal scanners, gagamit ng cashless system. Lahat ito gagastos sila. Pero hanggang ngayon, kalahati pa lang ng ayuda ang nabibigay ho natin sa ating mga drivers. So my point lang is, itong mga drivers bilang inyong constituency, even though hindi natin trabaho ito, magtulungan ho tayo para i-follow up dahil talagang napakadaming drivers ho ang hindi nabibigyan. Kasama na nga dyan yung Senate drivers ho namin, yung SETSCO, na nagbigay po ang Senado ng tulong ho sa kanila na mga food packs. But of course, ang inaantay nila yung mas malaking cash na tulong para sa kanila.
Tama po yun, Mr. Chair. Yung DOTR po and LTFRB ay kasama niyo po na nagre-remind sa mga ahensya po ng gobyerno that nangangasiwa po ng programa po. At katulad na rin po ng pag-remind na yan, kami rin po sa DOTR, sa pamumuna po ni Secretary Tugade, is also the one giving proposal sa DSWD kung paano pa mas mapapabilis yung pagbigay na ito pong ayuda para sa ating mga drivers. Sa katunayan nga po ay napirmahan po namin ng isang kontrata with the DSWD and the LTFRB with GCash para mas mapabilis yung pag-distribute ng pera doon sa mga TNVS drivers and also sa mga MC taxi drivers kasi yung mga driver po na yan may mga GCash accounts na. So those are the innovations na tinitingnan po ng DOTR, LTFRB and DSWD kung paano po mapabilis yung distribution po ng kanilang mga ayuda.
So what you're saying, Yusek, is binigay nyo 390,000 na pangalan of which binawasan nila to 90,000 ang na pangalan, of which ang bigyan lang nila mga 40,000 pa lang. Ganun ba, Yusek, ang nangyari?
Ang nangyayari po, Mr. Chair, ongoing po yung mga ginagawang validation ng DSWD as against do sa full list na binigay ng LTFRB. So if we can only ask po yung DSWD kung ano po yung latest na numbers na kanilang na-validate, and also Chairman Delgra can also verify kung ilan na po dito yung certified list ng drivers na meron silang hawak from DSWD.
Well, in any
Jeff,
case, no.
Madam Chair,
Excuse
Senator
me.
Win, may I interject just 30
My
seconds?
colleagues, just 1 second, Senator Villanueva. We are going through, we are discussing now the benefits for the drivers, which is very crucial.
Yes,
On
yes,
the
this is
other
very
hand,
crucial.
we need to
Yes,
focus
I'm
on,
talking about the figures,
after
Madam
all,
Chair.
Senator Villanueva, one minute, please.
Yes.
What we need to focus on are the safety measures first of our transportation. So we will go back to whatever social amelioration packages for the drivers later on. Because I'd like to move on first to the safety protocols, for example, for the rail sector now, and also for other TNBS operations. So Senator Joel, very briefly, if you have any additional for the labor sector, what other benefits is needed. But there are others that are leaving for an IATF meeting. That's why we need to get the safety protocols first. Senator Villanueva, go ahead, please.
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you for pointing that out, because that's the main reason why I wanted to say something, because when it went back to me, all I know is that we're going to talk about the labor sector. So I have yet to point out my clarificatory questions to the amelioration program, etc. But thank you, Madam Chair. I'll be waiting. Thank you.
Madam Chair, that's it for me. No, I just want to remind DOTR, kahit na ho hindi ho to trabaho ng DOTR, but they're your constituency. At marami pa rin drivers ho ang hindi nakakakuha ng tulong. And we're with you, no, in following it up. That's it, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Senator Villanueva and Gatchalian. Now, I'd like to go briefly to the rail sector. I think, I'm not sure if Yusek Batan is present.
Present po, Madam Chair.
Present?
Yes, Madam Chair, present po.
Yeah, I can't see you. Check your, oh, there. Good afternoon. Go ahead, please. Unang-una, ano ang magiging capacity sa MRT, sa LRT, at ano ang safety protocols ninyo kung magbubukas na? Paano ito? From lining up to paying to boarding and disembarking. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon po, Madam Chair, members po of the committee. Doon po sa unang katanungan na ano po yung magiging capacity, on average po, doon po sa apat nating linya, LRT1, LRT2, MRT3, and PNR, ang capacity po natin will be 14% on average po. Yung reduced capacity po na yan ay nakabase po doon sa ginawa naming simulation doon po sa loob ng mga tren kung ilan po yung magkakasya while implementing po yung 1 meter na social distancing requirement po natin per IATF and DOH guidelines. Now, doon po sa iba nating safety measures, so pinakauna po yung 1 meter social distancing guidelines kung kaya po bumaba po ang ating capacity. Maliban po dito, natanong po kung ano yung magiging safety measures mula po sa pila papasok. Ito pong 1 meter social distancing guideline natin ay i-implement po natin.
Yusek Batan, just quick interjection.
Can you repeat that again? Is it 40% or 14%? Kasi kung 14%, ang ibig sabihin po ba nun, pag doon sa, halimbawa, nagsimula po sa Trinoma area, hindi na po sila magdadagdag hanggat hindi po nagbabawas. Paano po yung operation po nito?
Yung figure po, Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, is 1.4 po. 1.4.
1.4. So,
yes po, Madam Chair.
Hanggang makadating po ito ng endpoint nila, kailangan 14% pa. Kahit mag-unload po sa Ayala EDSA, kailangan mapuno lang yung hanggang 14%. Am I correct?
That's correct po, Madam Chair.
And how is that going to be enforced?
Madam Chair, ang ginawa po natin, naglagay po tayo ng mga markers sa loob po ng mga tren natin. So bali meron lang pong naka-designate po na spaces. May markers po, may nakasulat po doon mismo sa mga upuan, doon po mismo sa mga pwede lang tayuan. And magkakaroon po tayo ng mga train marshals. Ngayon po, Madam Chair, the way that we will implement it po, kasi po pag nag-load tayo, pag pinuno po natin yung 14%, dun po sa unang stasyon lang, wala na pong makakasakay doon po sa mga susunod na stasyon. So mag-implement po tayo ng, number one po, mag-implement tayo ng skip train. And number two, mag-implement po tayo nung tinatawag po naming block loading system para po siguraduhin na hindi po natin pupunuin yung buong 14% in one station at magkakaroon po ng espasyo para po makasakay yung additional na mga pasahero doon po sa susunod na mga estasyon.
Teka muna, Yusek, ha? Ano yung usual capacity, halimbawa ng MRT? Anong usual capacity niyan?
Ang MRT,
pre-COVID.
ang pre-COVID capacity po natin sa MRT3 is 392 po na pasahero bawat bagon or 1,150 po na pasahero bawat 3-car train set. With reduced capacity po, bababa po yan from 392 to 51 per bagon and from 1,150 to 150 per train set. That's 13% po of the pre-ECQ.
Pakiulit ha. Bawat bagon ngayon, from what to what ulit? Bawat bagon has what capacity?
Okay. MRT3 po, bawat bagon, 392. Bababa po siya sa 51 bawat bagon.
So magiging 51 na lang.
Apa.
Nako, mag-uunahan yung mga tao kung sino makakapasok dyan. Wala tayong magagawa kasi nga dito dahil sa social distancing requirement. Pero siguro dapat maghahanda tayo dahil dun pa lang sa baba, magkakagulo na sa pila kung sino yung unang makakapasok. So, yun ang ano talaga.
Madam Chair, if I may po, isa po dun sa pinaghahandaan po natin na measures po para ma-address ito, very closely po with LTFRB and the road sector, pinaghahandaan po natin yung tinatawag nating Rail Bus Augmentation Program. Kung maalala niyo po, Madam Chair, noon pong yung talagang bagsak po yung operations natin sa MRT3 noong 2018 to 2019, nag-implement po tayo ng bus augmentation. At ito pong 2019, last year po, nung nagkaroon tayo ng sunog sa LRT2, nag-implement din po tayo ng bus augmentation. Ngayon po, uulitin natin to, Madam Chair, together po with the road sector. Ang pinagkaiba lang po, Madam Chair, dahil po, pag nag-implement tayo ng bus augmentation, 50% din po yung magiging capacity ng mga bus na mag-augment po sa rail. So, ang worry po namin, yung bus augmentation po kasi natin, pre-ECQ, ang sistema po, meron po tayong flat fare, yung average po natin para sa Riles, halimbawa po 25 pesos para sa MRT3, yan po yung binabayad doon po sa mga bus augmentation units. At nakakakuha naman po tayo ng ilang bus. Medyo mahirap lang po mag-guarantee yung availability ng mga bus dahil po depende doon sa assessment ng mga bus operators kung magde-deploy po sila or hindi. Yes po, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I mean, okay, mabuting alam natin na meron kayong effort for bus augmentation. Yun bang payment system, ano ba yung electronic payment system ba? Huh? Yung card, ito ba available na? Hindi pa rin.
Available po siya, Madam Chair, para po dun sa mga Riles natin. Yung AFCS po natin, yung
another
gift
thing
card.
to consider, I'm not sure if this will be viable, but perhaps you can study it. Dahil nga sa limited number of people who can go and take the trains, baka naman pwedeng pag-aralan that you sell scheduled tickets online, pero limited, like hindi naman for the full capacity. Siguro a certain percentage is sold online for a specific time. So, kunyari, pwede ka doon pumunta from 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, yung window na yon. Or I don't know how it's going to be done, but a guaranteed time frame so that you know the capacity. At least, kung hindi nila magamit within that time, hindi pa rin lugi yung train system natin. At the same time, pwedeng magpapasok ng iba. I'm not an expert, but we need creative ways to be able to figure out how we will be able to address the requirements now for social distancing. We will go back to you, Yusek Batan, and also I want to have the representative of the LRT to speak as well as, but right now the MMDA asks to speak for a few minutes. I would like to excuse also DILG. Teka, bago ko i-excuse si Yusek Dancing. Matanong muna kita, Yusek Dancing, kasi baka aalis ka na eh. Sa DILG ba, pakilinaw lang, ano yung magiging policy natin? Yusek Echeverry is present from the DILG. Okay, Yusek Echeverry, yun bang mga tricycle natin, papayagan na natin yan? At ano yung requirement para sa mga pasahero nila? Pati ba yung mga angkas, joyride, yung mga ganon, papayagan ba natin na meron ng pasahero? Sa DILG ba ito? Or sa anong jurisdiction ito na papayag dito?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and to all the resource speakers. The way I understand it, Mr. Chair, the tricycle is under the Tricycle Regulatory Board under the local governments. But I think if ever they will be allowed to do their business, they still have to observe social distancing. To cut the story short, Madam Chair, malamang baka isang tao lang ang pwede pasakayin sa tricycle. We are still needing this guidance from LTFRB if they will allow us to come up with that guidance that we may issue from our memorandum circular. Because at this point in time, Madam Chair, we are still under quarantine and social distancing still has to be observed even if it is under general quarantine.
Sir, Mr. Echeverry, ganito lang
Yes,
yun.
ma'am.
Kasi kung nag-GCQ at pinayagan ng transport sector ng gobyerno ng May 15, dapat siguro, yan ba yung May 15? Ito nang darating na. So, dapat siguro mag-coordinate na kayo. Papayagan ba natin ito? Dahil sa local government, sabi ninyo, this is under the local government regulatory, but because of the emergency situation now, I mean, the DILG will take precedent over them. So what are your recommendations? Kung social distancing, mukhang ang isang pasahero lang, pero definitely importante din yung dun sa mga endpoints na meron tayong...
Madam Chair, if you may allow me, can I just read briefly what Secretary Anyo has mentioned on this matter? Very briefly, Madam Chair.
Go ahead, please. We need that.
On marshals or enforcers for the consistent and efficient implementation of health protocols, measures, or guidelines must also be deployed or posted in strategic locations in every local government unit concerned. To this end, each local government unit, in coordination with transport officials and organization, may establish or designate compulsory transportation terminals where they can accommodate or unload passengers or where commuters or pedestrian mobility may be regulated or monitored. Depending on the circumstances at hand, a schedule of the arrival or departure of transport vehicles may be imposed. Likewise, the designation of compulsory transportation terminal shall preempt the need for more marshals or enforcers randomly spread and posted on the road just to monitor commuter or pedestrian mobility or their strict compliance with established protocols. This measure may prove effective, especially so that local government units exercise regulatory jurisdiction over unorthodox modes of transportation like tricycles, pedicab, and the like. Most local government units also accommodate residents who are employed by companies maintaining offices, plants, or factories outside of its territorial jurisdiction. Daily influx of workers to and from these local government units cannot be prevented but can be effectively regulated. As part of the general health measure, it may be wise to introduce different shifting hours among workers to reduce pedestrian and commuter impact on transportation, specifically on traffic, queuing, close contact, and public transport demands and the like. In short, Madam Chair, the ILG is recommending a more fixed scheduling of transportation on specific areas for pedestrian and for commuters as well. So that marshals and enforcers, kasi ginagastos na rin po namin yan ng mga local government units to maintain the social distancing for that matter. I hope I answered your question, Madam Chair.
Senator Tolentino.
Yung Secretary, yung tungkol sa tricycle, yung ginagawa niyong panuntunan ngayon, is that universal and non-discriminatory in terms of metro? Pare-pareho ba yan? Kasi usapan natin ngayon, mga TODA. Kaya ako nabanggit yan, Yusek, kasi ganito po yan. Nung unang linggo, o unang 7 araw ng ECQ natin, sinuportahan ko po yung ibang mga TODA na magkaroon ng ilang tricycle sa palengke para tulong sa ating mga students. Alam po, so, pumipindot yan. Naalala po, pagkain po ang Pasig, yung Rico Soto, na magkaroon ng tricycle para yung kanilang mga health frontliners. At naaalala ko rin po ay dininay. So bali sa Maynila, hinayaan po yung mga tricycles naman, electric tricycles, na maghatid ng frontliners. Is there any difference with this? Kaya tinanong ko yung non-discriminatory and universal application. Yung po bang di padjak, yung po bang di gasolina, at yung po bang electric operated tricycles, may mga kanya-kanya po bang classification ito in terms of the DILG perspective?
Thank you very much, Mr. Senator. So just to clarify on the issue between Mayor Isko Moreno and Mayor Vico Soto, the difference between Mayor Vico Soto and Mayor Isko Moreno's yung tricycles no na sinasabi, yung tricycle po o yung padjak or yung parang tricycle na rin ho ni Mayor Isko was only for purposes of transporting frontliners na private po, private in nature in transporting. Whereas Mayor Vico Soto decided to allow the flying of tricycle along Pasig, which in a way is parang violative na rin po of GCQ or an ECQ for that matter, because hindi rin ho namin alam kung nag-o-observe ng social distancing ang tricycle. To answer the question, Mr. Senator, wala hong discrimination na ginagawa. Ang policy po natin, we observe social distancing in tricycles. Kung paano gagawin yon, we would only allow at least one if possible. Or possible, depende rin ho kasi kung how do we observe social distancing in tricycle. So
Yusek,
I hope I answered the question, Madam Chair.
Yes. But there's a follow-up question here. For the equal implementation, please clarify your policy also for tricycle drivers in Valenzuela. Pareho ba ito dun sa Manila na situation na frontliners or pinayagan sa normal transportation of passengers?
Madam Chair, for as long as the it's not they're not doing it under business, no, public transport, meaning the tricycle should not be collecting anything. Basta for as long as it is in private in nature and just transporting frontliners from one place to another, that's not a violation of any ECQ. Kasi ang pinagbabawal lang ho natin, Madam Chair, is to allow the tricycle to do their business along the roads, violating ECQ kasi hindi na ho na-monitor ho yan eh. Whereas kapag private in nature, meaning alam ho natin na isa o dalawang tao lang ang sinusundot hatid ng tricycle at for that purpose alone, I think there's no violation, Madam Chair. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the case of Valenzuela. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay, no, that's fine. Moving forward, MMDA asked to speak for a few minutes with regards to what? MMDA?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you po. Thank you, Madam Chair. No? Actually, yung sa tricycle lang po, no, sagutin ko lang po ng konti. Malaki po difference nung sa Manila and sa Pasig. Kasi yung sa Manila po, nilis po yun ng government. So, ang nagpapatakbo gobyerno, kaya nila i-control. Unlike yung sa Pasig po, kanya-kanyang pamasahe bawat isa, mas mahirap i-control. Yun po yung naging reason doon dahil nakausap ko po mismo yung mga mayors concerned regarding that matter. And then next po, tungkol din po sa mga tricycle, no? Definitely, hindi na po pwede yung dati na national roads sila or major roads dadaan. If ever, sila na lang po yung connector. Kaya nga meron tayong mga ruta for buses and jeep para yung end ng trip nila at dito yung mga maliliit na kalsada, dyan na lang po papasok ang tricycle. But we need to follow yung IATF ruling na physical distancing. Yun nga po yung isa lang ang pasahero. So, case-to-case basis po, no, ang need ng tricycle sa mga LGUs, call na po ng mga mayor siya kung sa tingin nila, wala na pong susunod na transportation after the jeep. That's the time na papasok po yung mga tricycle. Then another thing po, no?
Yung mga motorcycles for hire, halimbawa yung angkas, ride, move it, ano bang policy dyan?
Actually, meron po nag-policy ng IATF sa ngayon, yung bawal po ang may angkasa, no? Not actually about physical distancing or what. Siyempre, kung kasama mo, asawa mo, kasama mo sa bahayan, sa kwarto, katabi mo matulog yan, wala talagang physical distancing yan. I think the real purpose na walang angkas is yung sa enforcement eh. Hindi naman pwede lahat ng may angkas, tatanungin natin, hihinga natin ng ID. May hirapan po yung enforcement natin eh. Kaya mas general na lang, alam mo ng angkas, alam naman po natin, lalo-lalo na yung mga kolorum. Sa amin lang po sa MMD, nung time na bawal ang kolorum, yung mga habal-habal na yan, pagka pinara mo, sasabihin, asawa niya o girlfriend niya, pero hindi niya naman alam ang pangalan pag tinanong namin. So just to expedite the process sa mga checkpoints natin, kaya po hindi na pinayagan yung angkas kasi nga madami pong umaabuso. Yung physical distancing part, yan nga lang po yung case-to-case basis natin na hindi natin pwedeng hinga ng ID lahat ng may angkas eh. Kumbaga, napakahirap para sa enforcement.
So, siguro, dito sa mga motorcycles for hire, marami sa kanila mag-migrate muna to delivery service?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's allowed, no? Kung essential po, Madam Chair, no? Yung delivery po ng mga essential goods, pinapayagan po basta mag-isa lang. Ang iniwasan lang po talaga yung dilema, no, ng enforcement. Kaya kung hindi pinapayagan yung may angkas, kasi nga mahirap i-check lahat ng may angkas.
Okay. Si DOTR USEC Mark De Leon, ang sabi niya, tricycles will be allowed provided carry a maximum of 1 passenger and must put an acetate barrier between driver and passenger.
Yes, ma'am. Yan na po yung health issues natin, mga guidelines po na IATF. Then last na po.
Yung mga taxi, babalik ako dito kung sino man ang pwedeng sumagot. Sa mga taxis, dapat daw may barrier between the driver and the passenger at the back. Yung mga dating parang may plexiglass na ganon, o acetate, o ano ba, may mga ganyan bang regulation tayo ngayon?
I think it's more on LTFRB po.
Balik tayo muna sa'yo. LTFRB, these are the ones that I want to clarify. Kasi we have to be able to cover as much as we can. For the taxi drivers, will they be, number one, will they be allowed to transport passengers when the lockdown is lifted? What are the protocols? Maglalagay ba ng acetate barrier or plexiglass barrier? Number two, yung mga UV Express pa, ano ang magiging regulation ninyo dyan? So whichever agency is now tasked to answer that, please go ahead and explain para hindi tayo magkalituhan.
Madam Chair, just to confirm that yung mga taxi po, papayagan po natin silang bumiyahe during GCQ, provided na magkaroon nga po sila ng barrier katulad ng acetate or plexiglass between the driver and the passengers. Yung number of pasahero po na pwede niyang maikarga, 2 sa likod and 1 pasahero sa harap. So maximum of 3 passengers po sa mga taxi, sa mga sedan taxi po natin.
So yung acetate, kung papayagan sa harapan, meron din divider. Ganun ba yun? Between the driver and the passenger in front. I mean, Ganun ba?
Tama po, Madam Chair. So may divider po between the passengers and the driver. For the UV Express naman po, 2 pasahero po kada row. So halos karamihan po ng ating mga UV Express naman na units, lahat po niyan, parang 4 lang sa isang row, no? Ang i-require po natin ay 2 pasahero lang po sa isang row. So yun po yung guidelines po natin, and katulad din po nung sa ibang modes of public transportation, i-require din po natin na may barrier between the driver and the passengers yung ating UV Express.
Okay, I think that's pretty clear. Any more that we need to cover for?
If I may, Madam Chair.
Senator Joel, you were raising your hand, apparently.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, Senator Joel.
Yes, this is not with regard to the amelioration, if I may, Madam Chair. Is that okay?
Amelioration, ulito. Can we go back to that later after the safety
Okay.
protocols?
Yes, after the
Okay, Senator
protocols.
Risa, if yours is with regards to safety protocols.
Yes, Madam Chair. Well, for the record also again, no, parang out of place yung pagbanggit tungkol kay Mayor Vico Soto. Kasi if I remember correctly, observing health protocols yung ginawa nila noon, prior even the passage of the Bayanihan Law, precisely to transport health frontliners and deliver relief goods. But anyway, may gusto po akong balikan, Madam Chair, na positibong sinabi. Pareho ni Yusek DILG at saka si Yusek Catan sa DOTR tungkol po sa pag-schedule ng mga bagay-bagay sa usapin ng transportasyon in aid of health. So my question po to the two agencies, posible po kayang i-stagger yung rush hour peaks? Ibig sabihin, i-advise ng DILG, ika-cluster yung mga opisina at mga establishments sa bawat LGU at pwedeng mag-assign sa kanila ng different opening times para mabawasan or maiwasan yung rush hour peak sa mga PUVs pati mga railway stations. And speaking of the railways, which you, Secretary, was speaking about earlier, pwede kayang i-consider na mga rail systems natin na i-extend yung time of operations nila in order to compensate for their reduced passenger capacity at para din i-accommodate itong kung gagawin ng DILG na staggered rush hour peak, staggered opening and closing times ng mga opisina sa kanilang LGU. So those are my questions, Madam Chair, for the DILG and the DOTR.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That is actually our recommendation, and probably DILG and DOTR could sit down on the matter and discuss the matter closely. We will seek guidance from them on that matter, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Yusek Achiveri. Madam Chair, would Yusek Catan have any more inputs about that? Pati po yung pag-extend ng operating hours ng mga rails?
I think that's a very valid question. Yusek Batan, ano ba, pwede bang habaan yung operations ng rail?
Yeah, Madam Chair, that's a very good suggestion po. We will take that into consideration po in our GCQ operations plan. Thank you po, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Yusek Batan. Salamat, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Balik tayo uli sa rail, ano? So nasagot na natin yung at least yung minimum safety protocols for TNVS. Ganun ba? Yung sa TNVS parang wala pa, taxi pa lang tayo. So sa TNVS, papayagan ba natin yung Grab?
If I may.
Yes, LTFRB. Go on.
Yes,
Yeah.
in connection with the taxis and TNVS.
Yes, please.
Yes, as we have made mention about public utility vehicles with routes, they'll be getting special permits, ano? But for taxi and TNVS po, we will not require the application issuance of a special permit anymore, but we are preparing a MC for the guidance of this particular mode. So ibig sabihin po, but there are certain submissions on the part of the TNCs, the accredited corporations who are managing this. So in answer to the question earlier, they would be allowed starting May 16, although we would anticipate that the volume would actually be on the following Monday, which is May 18. So yung po, yung sinabing mga safety protocols, public health protocols po, nasabi na rin kanina. But in the procedure by which they be able to allow to run, we need to get in touch with the TNCs on this one. No? Both, by the way, even in the operation with the taxi units are actually accredited with the TNCs as well, except that because they have two options, yung pagkukuha ng pasahero, both on online booking as well as yung street hail, nire-require na po natin sa kanila na whatever is the case, whether kukuha sila ng pasahero sa daan or kukuha sila ng pasahero through online bookings. I'm referring to the taxi. Yung cashless transaction pa rin po ang mangibabaw. Ang ibig po sabihin, pag hindi po sila nakasakay ng pasahero through the system of the TNCs, we would also encourage them to have yung sinasabi kanina na electronic payment scheme through Paymaya, GCash, or whoever the drivers and the operators may have. Just to push cashless transaction po.
Chairman Delga, really quickly, kahit kung wala pa silang electronic payment system in place, papayagan para man sila. Kasi may mga pasahero rin na cash pa rin ang binabayad. Tama ba yun?
Tama po, pero ang sinasabi po namin dito, we're actually pushing. In fact, we're not making it mandatory, but we're strongly encouraging the use of AFCS payment.
I agree with that. But then kasi tinatawag natin to mga dual citizen to eh. Ito yung mga taxi drivers na mga taxi operators na TNCs rin. Will they have to have, yun nga, yung parang acetate rin na, kasi a lot of them are using privately owned vehicles. So will they have to reconfigure their vehicles so that they can also comply with the standard?
Yes po, Madam Chair. In fact, those who are classified and given franchise as public utility vehicle, like TNVS, they are actually considered public transport and not considered private vehicle for that matter.
Pero hindi katulad ng mga taxi na merong uniform fleet. Ito kanya-kanyang sasakyan na nagiging ano na rin, it's a public vehicle but they need to put nga those acetate barriers as well. I just want to...
Yes po. Again, the primordial consideration is public health.
And I agree. Okay, so we did tackle the tricycles, UV Express, TNVS and taxis. Balik tayo sa rail. Dahil meron dito yung... So we were talking mostly about the MRT. Ngayon yung LRT, ganun din ang magiging procedure. Number one, I want to know the sanitation methods. Kasi meron akong nabasa earlier that regularly there will be disinfection of the area. So you'll have the janitorial services who will provide that. Maybe some sort of fumigation. I don't know what the procedure is, but enlighten us on how you will actually disinfect the place. Number two, yung mga elevators na ginagamit ninyo, paano ilang tao yung mga papayagan dyan. And then, yung mga ventilation ninyo, yung air circulation dun sa lugar, paano yun malilinisan. Kasi yun talaga yung mga concerns natin. And I know that LRT is being run by a private company now, right? Unlike the MRT, which is the government. So I'd like to hear from the LRT representative as well. I think Mr. Alfonso is with LRT.
Yes, Madam Chair. Good morning.
Yes, please explain to us your safety protocols, the preparations you've made.
Yes, good morning. The safety protocols we start with, Madam Chair, are start with the temperature screening, no? So before the passengers come into the station, we have thermal scanners or screening for the passengers before they go into the station. Second, also, in order to follow the physical distancing, we have markers for queuing in the station. And then also, we're promoting the stored value cards or the electronic payment systems for the people to use, no? So it becomes a cashless system. In terms of inside the trains, like Secretary Batan mentioned earlier, there are markers inside the trains to show also the passengers know where to stay. While the passengers are also queuing, there are alcohol dispensers that are available, no, in the station or in the cashiering areas, as well as hand washing areas, no, for the hand sanitation. We're also implementing a no mask, no entry policy in line with the DOTR, so that everybody who comes into the station has a face mask for just for the safety, the health and safety of the passengers. In terms of, Madam, you mentioned the disinfection of the trains. The disinfection of the trains are done at the end of every loop, no, roughly every 30 minutes. These are done at the end stations of Baclaran and Roosevelt for LRT1, which is the system that we operate now, LRMC. We're doing this right now with alcohol cleaning, and then we'll be starting to migrate to ultraviolet or UV disinfection. No? The UV disinfection is much faster and I think much more thorough than regular disinfection. So those are the measures, Madam, that we're enforcing inside the LRT1 right now.
Thank you for clarifying. Actually, this is actually refreshing to know that you have come up with this already. I'd like to see if Yusek Batan, do you have the same thing? Well, you mentioned temperature screening, Yusek Batan, about markers for queuing outside. I don't think I've heard you say that. You said the cashless system, about markers inside the train. Yusek Batan, will you have those markers for queuing and outside the train? Alcohol dispensers, disinfection in every loop?
Yes po, Madam. Yes po, Madam Chair. We are also adopting the same measures. Madam Chair, if I may po, LRTA, the operator po of LRT2, MRT3, as well as PNR po are also with us po for this hearing. So we can also hear from them po the specific health and safety measures that we will be observing po for LRT2, MRT3, and PNR.
Okay. You mean hindi pa kayo nagmi-meeting?
Ano po, Madam Chair, and yung mga binanggit po ni for LRT1 are also being adopted po for the government-run lines, Madam Chair.
Okay. When are you gonna meet?
We have already met po, Madam Chair, and we have, yes po, and we have already issued po yung common guidelines po that we are adopting across all of our rail lines po, Madam Chair.
Okay. Thank you. Basta, yung problema, yung queuing sa labas, you are anticipating a certain number only, but I'm sure it will go beyond that. So, you need to have marshals there na when it reaches this point, hindi na pwede munang, hindi ko talaga alam, basta maintain na lang distancing, and I think we will appeal also to our passengers to have common sense to maintain their distance from another passenger. I would have to go back. My attention was called with regards to the safety protocols for jeepneys and buses. Babalik tayo sa LTFRB siguro dito. Ano yung sinasabi niyo dun sa mga papayagan ninyo? Bibigyan niyo ng special permit ng mga bus operators at saka ng mga jeepney operators. How will they disinfect? Will there be markers as to the distance of the passengers? I don't know how. Please explain, LTFRB. What are your safety protocols in the jeeps and the buses?
Thank you, Madam Chair. As mentioned by Sec Mark De Leon earlier, the safety protocol inside a public utility vehicle is already in place insofar as the guidelines is concerned. So, insofar as the operation is concerned, magsisimula po tayo dun sa bago madideploy yung pampublikong sasakyan. Ang ibig pong sabihin nito, meron po tayong even pre-COVID, meron yung mga tinatawag na safety officer where they will determine the deployment of the PUVs. So ang tinitingnan nila dito, yung competence ng driver, no, tamang tulog, or for that matter, roadworthiness. Pero merong dagdag na responsibilidad dito. Ibig sabihin, kailangan matingnan na yung driver is fit, medically fit to drive. So yun po. Once, and even before part of the roadworthiness and addressing public health issues, kailangan may disinfection before and after the trip. And what you will see inside the vehicle as well.
Standard, sorry. Meron ba kayong standard what disinfection methods will be? Like, pagpupunas ng silya, anong gagamitin? Baka basahan na luma na tubig lang ang gagamitin, hindi kaya. So, we have to be very specific. Ano bang gagamitin for disinfection?
Ang sinasabi po namin dun sa memorandum circular, disinfectant po. So, ibig sabihin, it should be enough to kill the virus for that matter. Perhaps, as regards to observation of Madam Chair, pwedeng we can suggest on the kind of disinfection advised public utility on that line.
And then you also said, so for the buses and disinfected, kasi kung sa train, after one loop. So sa buses, paano?
It's the disinfection will be done before and even after nangyayari. Now, aside from that, there would also be yung meron pong very common policy, and I would like to reiterate this, na no mask, no ride policy for all commuters. No? Again, these are public health considerations. Having said that, pati yung driver at saka yung conductor, kailangan nakamask din. Yung nasabi natin kung saan sasakay, kasi alam natin, even if we're going to talk about numbers, after capacity, we also would need to tell, and for that matter, the drivers and the conductors are actually inside the public utility vehicle, kung saan uupo yung mga pasahero para to maintain the social distancing measure. So merong nakalagay doon yung iba't ibang klaseng pamamaraan, whether you put a sticker, as like in the buses, kung saan pwedeng sumakay, umupo at saan hindi pwede umupo. In the jeepney po, there are variations and actually putting an acetate barrier so that there would actually be a physical distinction kung saan upo. But at the same time, it serves an additional purpose. Ibig sabihin, yung barrier mismo will reduce risk of infection for that matter. So,
hindi maganda yan. Tama. Sometimes it's better to be very literal and to provide visuals like stickers, markers, paint, for people to know exactly where they will stand, where they will sit. Now, kung sasabihin mo maglalagay ng acetate sa mga jeep, ang iniisip ko dito yung mga traditional jeeps. Magkatapat kayong ganyan. So kung yung acetate in between passengers seated on the same row, that's fine. So paano ngayon? Lihes. Kasi hindi pwedeng may katapat ka sa kabila kasi kung humatching ka, mapupunta rin naman doon. So paano ngayon ang magiging seating nun? These are one of the things we need to figure out.
Fully appreciated the observation of Madam Chair, and that's precisely why the seating arrangement, just like in the bus, will be alternate para hindi magkaharap yung mga pasahero. Yung sinasabi po natin kanina na automatic fare collection system, karamihan dito sa mga traditional jeepney, alam natin wala. Kaya ang sinasabi namin doon sa guidelines na yan, kung pwede, magbayad na sila bago sumakay. Kasi po kung sasakay sila, magpapasahan ng pera sa loob ng sasakyan, and then that will increase the risk of transmission ng virus. So yun po yung mga maliliit na bagay that actually will go a long way in having to address public health also.
Okay, thank you. I think that we have just the general safety protocols covered. I'd like to go back to the social amelioration program, which is also a concern, yung mga drivers na hindi makakapagpapatakbo ng kanilang mga ruta. Ano ang mga balak natin? May nabanggit earlier na ang DOTR ay magbibigay ng ayuda pagdating sa gasolina, sa fuel subsidy of 30% of fuel consumption. Ibibigay yan. Pero yan ay dun sa mga nagpapatakbo. Paano ngayon yung mga walang trabaho dahil nga hindi nabigyan ng special permit na magbiyahe? So sinong pwedeng sumagot niya? DOTR, USEC de Leon, ano bang plano? Hindi ba ang DOTR may budget kayo para dun sa modernization, pwede bang magamit muna para dyan? Ano bang pera? Yusek De Leon, please explain, or Yusek Pastor, one. Sinong gusto?
Madam Chair. Just to confirm na wala pong budget yung DOTR sa PUV modernization this 2020. And zero
Anong walang budget
po
is
tayo.
2019, sir? Anong walang budget is 2019?
2020, year 2020 po. So
Walang
wala po
budget
tayong...
for modernization?
Yes, ma'am. So wala po tayong budget sa modernization for 2020. But ang pinapropose po ng DOTR, katulad po ng nabanggit kanina, ay magkakaroon tayo ng fuel subsidy for operators and drivers of public transport. As of the latest feedback po, na-present na to sa Interagency Task Force, and during the last task force meeting, the task force has already adopted that proposal of DOTR. So we will just follow up this measure with the DPM kung paano na po yung mechanics nung pag-download ng pera sa for that measure. So aside from fuel subsidy, ang mga pinopropose din po kasi ng DOTR na na-adapt na rin po ng interagency ay yung proposal namin to restructure yung mga existing loans ng public transport operators. So kasama na dyan yung pag-restructure ng kanilang loans, ma-defer sana yung kanilang mga amortization. I think some of the financial institutions, the government financial institutions such as Land Bank and BPP has already granted this proposal of DOTR and also mandated din sila under the Bayanihan Act. I think yung BPP has already waived or nagbigay sila ng grace period na up to 6 months sa kanilang public transport operators na may existing loans. So aside from that, nag-propose din po yung DOTR to have more loans for public transport operators para masuportahan sila during this GCQ period. Ang proposal po ng DOTR sana mababa po sana yung loan terms na ibibigay sa ating mga public transport operators. So those are measures na linagay po namin under our proposal dito sa ating stimulus package. So aside from that measure, Madam Chair, one of the proposal is also to, if government will allow, ikontrata na natin yung mga public transport vehicles natin like buses and jeepneys para talagang hindi na nila po problemahin yung kanilang biyahe. So this measure is still yet to be presented to the Interagency Task Force, but may require a bigger amount of budget dahil nga babayaran na natin yung mga takbo ng public transport operators. In that way, nakikita po ng DOTR kapag ginawa po natin yan, ay may ensure po natin yung compliance nila sa social distancing dahil nga po nabayaran na natin yung kanilang pasada. And hindi na sila maghahabol ng kanilang kita and hindi na sila magiging sabihin natin pupunuin yung kanilang sasakyan dahil nga po bayad na po sila ng gobyerno. So Madam Chair, yun po yung mga proposals po ng DOTR para mabigyan po ng ayuda itong mga public transport operators. Of course, aside from the subsidy na binibigay naman po ng DSWD para sa ating mga drivers.
Okay, Yusek De Leon, paki-email po, kahit na ano lang yung mapapadala mo, paki-email yung mga sinasabi mo, iisip ninyong ayuda dito sa amin.
Bayanihan laban sa COVID-19. Dzxl 558 Radyo Trabaho Special Coverage.
That news was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS. Sulitin ang serbisyong handog ng PhilHealth. Sa Universal Healthcare o UHC, lahat ng Filipino ay miyembro na ng PhilHealth at may health insurance benefits na magagamit kaagad sakaling makonfine o magpagamot. Upang mas sulit at ma-enjoy ang benepisyong ito, maging responsible sa pagbabayad ng kontribusyon para lalong lumawak pa ang mga benepisyong magagamit ng bawat miyembro. Makibahagi, unawain at alamin ang Universal Healthcare. Tumawag sa 844-17442, mag-email sa actioncenter@philhealth.gov.ph o bumisita sa alinmang opisina ng PhilHealth.
ouch. Walang hapdi, no ouch, ouch. Para pumuti. Walang ouch, ouch sa White Rose Kojic Whitening Soap. May kakaibang Kojic Depomitate para walang side effects na skin irritation o over-drying. Kojic na walang hapdi. Wow, wow, ang White Rose puti. Oh, wow, wow, puting walang hapdi. White Rose Kojic Whitening Soap. Kojic na kinis, Kojic na puti. With regular use. Oh, wow, wow. White Rose, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified world-class quality. ACS.
Tunay na maipagmamalaki ng Pinoy ang MX3. Gawang Pilipino, natural at orihinal sa katunayan. Sunod-sunod na parangal ang tinanggap nito sa Europa at Amerika. Mula sa Switzerland, United Kingdom, France at New York. Isang pagkilala sa kalidad ng produktong Pilipino. MX3, araw-araw. Tulong para iwas-iwas sa sakit with proper diet and exercise. Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Kung kailangang lumabas ng bahay, sundin ang tamang oras at araw ng paglabas ng bahay para makaiwas sa dami ng tao at makaiwas makakuha ng virus. Isang paalala mula sa ACS Manufacturing, maker of Shield Bath Soap.
Marami na ang natulungan ng Nature Soya Coffee.
Ako si Judy Antagtagon, isang estudyante. Grabe ang pananakit ng tiyan ko noon dahil sa ulcer. Nahihirapan na ako kumain. Uminom ako ng Nature Soya Coffee. Natulungan ako nito sa problema ko sa ulcer.
Kayo rin, gumamit na ng Nature Soya Coffee. Pambibili sa inyong mga suking butika.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Nature Soya Coffee ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Ang oras, 2:05.
That time check was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
That time check was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
24 hours of germ protection. Shield Bath Soap. Shield Bath Soap. 24 hours of germ protection. Shield Bath Soap. Shield Bath Soap.
Protektahan ang kalusugan ng pamilya. Mag-Shield Bath Soap regularly. Kills 99.9% ng germs at recommended pa ng Philippine Nurses Association.
Shield Bath Soap. Shield Bath Soap.
Shield. Galit sa sakit, may malasakit. Shield Bath Soap. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS.
Marami na ang natulungan ng Santon Plus Herbal Capsule.
Ako si Portia Andrade, nakatira sa Ibaw, Liso, Aklan. Ngayon, 75 years old na ko. Ang aking sakit noon, sumasakit yung ulo ko. Narinig ko sa radyo, Santon Plus. Kaya sinubukan ko magamit. Ngayon, naramdaman ko maganda sa katawan ko. Yung ulo ko hindi na sumasakit. Maraming salamat sa Santon Plus at naramdaman ko sa katawan ko maganda pala.
Kayo rin, mag Santon Plus Herbal Capsule na. Mabibili sa mga butika.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Santon Plus Herbal Capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Ano ang pangatlong kumain, Mang Moy?
Kumain number 3. Kumain ng gulay at prutas araw-araw. Sa almusal, tanghalian at hapunan.
3 times a day?
Oo ba? 5 servings o higit pa kada araw. Kailangan ito para humaba ang buhay.
Mahilig kayo sa prutas at gulay, no?
Correct ka dyan, Elmer. Paborito ko ang malunggay at kangkong. Panghimagas ko, saging, mangga, minsan, papaya.
Pampakinis pati ng kutis, di po ba?
Napansin mo, ha?
Sundin ang 10 Kumain Meds para sa sigla at lakas ng buhay. Paalala ng National Nutrition Council ng DOH.
Sa ating mga tagapakinig na edad 50 anyos pataas, sa panahon ngayon, talagang mas kailangan palakasin ang ating resistensya. Dahil alam nyo ba na ayon sa mga pag-aaral at pagsusuri, mas delikado ang tao sa sakit habang tumatanda dahil humihina ang resistensya? Ako, may bago akong nalaman. Narinig nyo na ba ang tinatawag na antioxidants? Alam nyo ba na ayon sa mga eksperto, hindi lang basta vitamin C ang tumutulong magpalakas ng resistensya, kundi iba't ibang antioxidants din. Ayon sa mga research at mga eksperto, ang vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, selenium at ang zinc ay ang mga antioxidants na tumutulong patibayin ang ating resistensya para hindi madaling magkasakit. At alam nyo rin ba na ang mga antioxidants na ito ay matatagpuan sa Centrum Silver Advance? Sa ating mga tagapakinig na edad 50 pataas, kasama ang tamang diet at exercise, Take Centrum Silver Advance para matulungang makakuha ng araw-araw na antioxidants at extra na resistensya, lalong-lalo na sa panahon ngayon. Kaya para sa extra resistensya at proteksyong pang buong katawan, para sa edad 50 pataas, mag-Centrum Silver Advance. Multivitamins plus minerals is the generic name of Centrum Silver Advance. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Para sa extra resistensya at proteksyon pang buong katawan para sa edad 50 pataas, take Centrum Silver Advance every day.
Mare, bakit ka malungkot?
Kasi yung easy claim ko na-deny. Paano na kaya ito?
Huwag kang mawala ng pag-asa dahil ang easy claims na na-deny ng GSIS o ng SSS ay pwedeng iapila sa Employees Compensation Commission o ECC.
Salamat sa ECC. May pag-asang maaprubahan ang easy claim ko.
Para sa karagtagang kaalaman, tumawag sa 02-8899-4251 o mag-log on sa www.ecc.gov.ph. Sa ECC, ang manggagawang Pinoy ay protektado.
Sagot ka ng Employees Compensation Commission.
Panatilihin ang 1 metrong layo sa tao o ang tinatawag na social distancing para maiwasang mahawa sa COVID-19. Isang paalala mula sa ACS Manufacturing, maker of smart dishwashing liquid.
Santon Plus Gold.
Ako si Weng. Matagal ko nang iniinda yung sakit ng likod ko. Talagang napakasakit. Pero pag take ko ng Santon Plus Gold, sa loob ng 2 linggo, hindi na sumasakit ang likod ko.
Santon Plus Gold. Mas pinalakas, pinagaling, pinahusay. Santon Plus Gold. Mabibili sa mga butika.
Noon ay love na love kita sa aking dishwashing. Ayun pala kadiri ka sa antibac ay bitin.
Ang akala ko pa nga, lahat na kalamansi dishwashing liquid, antibac ang galing!
Kaya mag-smart dishwashing liquid na. Mapakalamansi o lemon parehong antibac. May double tanggaling formula. Tanggal galing ang sebon, tanggal galing ang bakterya.
Smart liquid dishwashing, smart ang tanggaling-galing.
Smart dishwashing liquid. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
Mang Pak, ipanik mo lahat ng simento at buhangin sa 4th floor. Wala ka na rin sasahurin. Sinira mo yung grinder.
Boss, parang awa nyo na.
Dapat sa'yo tawag palpak, hindi mangpak.
Init ng ulo ni boss, no? Ang ko naman na hindi ka palpak. Pre, para sa Panginoon ang ginagawa ko, lubos akong umaasa. May tiwala ako sa Diyos. Sa tao rin katulad ko, hindi ako matatakot. Nakasulat yan sa Biblia. Psalm 56:11.
MX3, tagapaghatid ng magandang balita.
Whatever your laundry needs, Pride Detergent is all you need.
Hay, ang anak ko, basketball ang bisyo. Pag-uwi, puro pawis at dumi ang damit. Siguradong may bakteriyang nakakapit. Kaya, Mrs., all you need is Pride.
Pride Antibacterial Detergent. May triple action formula. Ang power bula na mabisang panlaban sa bakterya.
Basta panlaban sa bakterya, all you need is Pride. All you need is Pride.
Pride Antibacterial Detergent. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS.
Small Business Wage Subsidy, SBWS program ng Department of Finance. Ating alamin.
Paano mag-a-apply ang mga eligible employers ng SBWS program?
Mag-log in sa inyong my.sss account at i-click ang Small Business Wage Subsidy tab. I-copy sa SBWS portal ang passcode mula sa BIR search system at i-type ang business TIN number. I-click ang Proceed button para makapasok sa application portal. Piliin sa list of employees ang eligible na makatanggap ng tulong. Ilagay kung ang empleyadong napili ay camp beneficiary din. Siguraduhin may TIN number ang bawat empleyado. Para sa iba pang katanungan, makipag-ugnayan sa SSS Call Center number 1455 o sa toll-free number 1-800-1022-55777 o bumisita sss.gov.ph o i-search sa Facebook fb.com/sssph. A public service announcement from PCOO, DOH, KBP, and this station.
Mga karamdaman ba ang problema mo? Subukan ang bago Santon Plus Gold. Santon Plus Gold. Mas pinalakas, mas pinahusay, mas pinagaling. Makatutulong sa paglunas sa mga pamamaga, bukol at iba pang karamdaman sa iyong katawan. Santon Plus Gold. Mabibili sa mga butika.
Bayan ni Juan laban sa COVID-19. DZXL 558 Radyo Trabaho Special Coverage.
Bakit kailangan po namin mag-apply ng permit, na bakit kailangan namin, na sinasabi nga po na kapag daw ay sa isang ruta ay may mga tumatakbo na mga minibus, ay kailangan daw tatanggalin na yung mga jeep. Ay ang sabi nga po namin, kami ay handang sumunod doon sa itinatakda ng batas na kailangan naming mag-rehabilitation ng aming mga pampublikong transportasyon. At dito sa sinasabi po sa ngayon ng bagong MC ng LTFRB na kailangan namin magbawas ng aming mga pasahero, yung 20-seater ay magiging 10-seater. Handa po kami sumunod. Pero ang hindi kami sumasang-ayon ay dito po sa sinasabi nila na kailangan nga namin mag-apply ng panibagong permit. Pahirap ito sa hanay po ng mga jeepney.
Sir, pasensya na po yung timing lang na yung time po tapos na. Pero nakita ko po yung gist, narinig ko po yung gist, ayaw ninyo ng special permit. Naintindihan ko yung pagkaalinlangan talaga natin dyan. Pero ang problema, uunahin natin talaga yung kaligtasan. So hopefully talaga pinagpasihan nito. Siguro mag-request tayo ng consultation or masabi sa inyong personal ano ang rationale dito sa desisyon nila ng special permit. Although ako, I get it. Kaya lang mahirap kasi, alam ko, tinataguyod din ninyo yung hanap buhay at yung pagkakakitaan sa araw-araw. Pakisubmit po galing sa inyong organization ang inyong position paper para masama po natin yan sa recommendation or committee report. Yung next po na magsasalita ay si Danilo Yumol ng Stop Jeepney. Mr. Yumol. I think wala. Okay. So, Vincent Rondaris ng Bus. Vincent Rondaris.
Good afternoon po, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Rondaris. Go
Hi.
ahead.
Yes. Speak. Opo. Good afternoon po, Madam Chair and the members of the committee. For the information of everyone, we already submitted our position paper. But let me just read a short statement for our industry. We are holders of a franchise of public conveyance. We are dedicated to public service. We will continue to serve. We would like to put it on record that operating at 50% load factor due to social distancing will result in an automatic net loss impact in our finances. This is why we would like to seek for financial and operational stimulus packages that will help our operations viable and enable us to continue the quality of public service that Filipinos so deserve. Yun lang po, ma'am. Good afternoon po.
Thank you for your brief manifestation and also for submitting ahead of time your position paper so that we can incorporate this in report. We appreciate it, sir. Managing Director Julia De Jesus of wala. Okay. Gusto ko muna yung angkas o joyride. Kasi magkakaroon kayo ng delivery service pero syempre mapapawasan ang inyong kita ngayon dahil wala na munang pagbabiyahe ng mga pasahero. Any representative, Mr. Royaca, are you present?
Yes, ma'am. Dito po ako.
Okay. Mr. Royaca, what is your position and please submit also in writing your position paper.
Yes, good afternoon po, Madam Chairman, and good afternoon to everybody. Kami naman po ay sumusunod lang po dun sa patakaran na sinasabi po ng gobyerno. For us, safety is of primordial concern. We do believe that this is a health crisis that everybody needs to work together on. No? If we are asked po to start ferrying passengers to be able to help in the public transportation system, then we can do so with some health precautions and health guidelines in place. We'll submit po the necessary papers, but as of now po, Madam Chairman, kami po will just pivoting to deliveries and we will abide po by the rules set forth by the government, ma'am.
So, Mr. Royaca, are you delivering goods or food delivery? May ganyan kayong option?
Yes po, ma'am. So basically, most of the motorcycle taxi, if not all of them, are now doing their own deliveries. So we deliver po food and goods po to people.
So, you're in terms of revenue, ilang percent yung binaba ng revenue nyo ngayon?
I think for us, ma'am, it's more than 90%, maybe 95%. But right now po kasi Angkas is not taking any commissions even for the food deliveries. But in terms of the services that we've rendered, more than 95% of our business is not operational right now.
Okay, so we will be looking forward to that position paper and also your guidelines should the government lift the ban on motorcycle taxis for hire for passengers. So kung ano yung mga safety, yung siguro paggamit ng mga, I don't know, shower cap or bring your own helmet muna, yung mga ganon. Kasi magastos rin na kayo ang magsa-shoulder lahat ng disinfection sa bawat sakay na ano. So baka bring your own helmet or maybe you can do it but you have to disinfect per passenger.
Tama po yun, ma'am. So helmet is one of them po. The private shuttle system po na lahat po ng mga customers po is may pre-arrangement or pre-agreement po. Tapos mass testing din po. So our Angkas is committed to mass test our fleet po on a regular basis so that we may we need to make sure that yung community spread within our own fleet is curbed or is stopped.
Actually, I'd like to commend you for being a part of the ARC mass testing program. I know that you've been very active to help the government in their efforts to increase mass testing. So thank you.
Yes,
so just submit what you can, Mr. Rayana.
And sorry ma'am, we can help po also the OTR dun po sa mga terminals nila for the mass testing. We're doing it with the LGUs po. So baka at least yung frontliners po ng DOTR may be able to make use of our protocols and our support. Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Brian Koo of Grab Philippines.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, and all the other honorable senators. We will just comply with what the LTFRB has mandated for us to resume operation. Number one po, we are also providing disinfection kits to all our drivers. We've so far procured around 10,000 of these disinfection kits to be distributed to our drivers. We will also be providing them with the acetate shield that they can install in their vehicles. We're also preparing the system for cashless only type of transaction to minimize the handling of cash. Now, with regards to the distribution of the social amelioration program, based on our last update, there are around 8,000 of the 50,000 TNVS drivers that were given the 8,000 pesos, and the rest are still waiting for updates from the LTFRB. Just also,
yes, go ahead, please.
Also, based on expectations of when services resume, based on the other markets that we operate in, we've seen a resumption of only around 50% of the capacity come back after the lockdowns were lifted.
Okay. Mr. Koo, please submit to us the safety protocols that you have. It's very nice to know that you have those in case you're distributing disinfecting kits and acetate. We would like to know exactly all of those protocols and have it on record. Thank you, sir.
We will, boss. Thank you.
Okay, next I would like Mr. Christopher Pastrana of the Philippine Inter-Island Shipping Association. What are the safety protocols you have in place, sir?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, hi, Mr. Pastrana.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and members. Kami po sa Maritime, we have not stopped operation in moving cargoes.
Bayanihan laban sa COVID-19. Dzxl 558 Radyo Trabaho Special Coverage.
That news was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified, world-class quality.
Abangan ang programang Hatid ay kaalaman tungkol sa serbisyong medikal ng PhilHealth. Kasamang ating radyoman na si Jenny Pahilanga, sabay-sabay tayong tumutok sa Alagang PhilHealth sa Sentro Serbisyo sa Umaga. Tuwing Lunes, alas 10:15 ng umaga, dito lamang sa RMN Dzxl 558 Radyo Trabaho. Para sa karagdagang kaalaman at iba pang katanungan, makipag-ugnayan sa PhilHealth sa numerong 844-17442 at ilike ang kanilang official Facebook page at PhilHealth Official. Alagang PhilHealth. Hatid sa inyo ng PhilHealth, your partner in health.
Hi, Daddy Delpin Jeronimo po para sa MX3. 2 years ko nang kasama ang MX3 capsule. Ang MX3 capsule ay may clinical study na low in sodium, cholesterol, and fat-free. Tested and proven ito. Mag-MX3 araw-araw. Tunay, natural, at original. Tulad ko.
Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Galing sa labas ng bahay, isanitize o hugasan ng mga napamili. Hubarin ang ginamit na sapatos at magpalit agad ng damit pagpasok sa bahay upang maiwasang magkaroon ng virus. Isang paalala mula sa ACS Manufacturing, maker of Pride Detergent.
Hirap ang paghinga, mabilis ang pagtibok ng puso. Senyales yan ng asma. Iwasan ang asma at ang iba pang mga sakit. Mighty C! Ang alkaline na vitamin C na nagbibigay ng proteksyon sa ating katawan para everyday healthy. Mighty C! Ang alkaline na vitamin C. Mighty C!
No ouch ouch, walang hapdi. No ouch ouch, para pumuti.
Walang ouch-ouch sa White Rose Kojic Whitening Soap. May kakaibang Kojic Depomitate para walang side effects na skin irritation o over-drying. Kojic na walang hapde.
Wow, wow, ang White Rose puti. Oh, wow, wow, puting walang hapdi.
White Rose Kojic Whitening Soap. Kojic na kinis, Kojic na puti. With regular use.
Oh, wow, wow.
White Rose, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified, world-class quality.
ACS.
Parami na ng parami ng parami ang guminhawa sa Santon Plus Herbal Capsule.
Ako si Realin Nagbayani, isang utility girl. Matagal na akong umiinom ng Santon Plus Herbal Capsule. Natulungan maging normal ang monthly period ko. Wala na ang pananakit ng aking puson.
Mabibili sa mga suking butika.
Sa ating mga tagapakinig na edad 50 anyos pataas, sa panahon ngayon, talagang mas kailangan palakasin ang ating resistensya. Dahil alam nyo ba na ayon sa mga pag-aaral at pagsusuri, mas delikado ang tao sa sakit habang tumatanda dahil humihina ang resistensya? Ako, may bago akong nalaman. Narinig nyo na ba ang tinatawag na antioxidants? Alam nyo ba na ayon sa mga eksperto, hindi lang basta vitamin C ang tumutulong magpalakas ng resistensya, kundi iba't ibang antioxidants din. Ayon sa mga research at mga eksperto, ang vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, selenium at ang zinc ay ang mga antioxidants na tumutulong patibayin ang ating resistensya para hindi madaling magkasakit. At alam nyo rin ba na ang mga antioxidants na ito ay matatagpuan sa Centrum Silver Advance? Sa ating mga tagapakinig na edad 50 pataas, kasama ang tamang diet at exercise, take Centrum Silver Advance para matulungang makakuha ng araw-araw na antioxidants at extra na resistensya, lalong-lalo na sa panahon ngayon. Kaya para sa extra resistensya at proteksyong pangbuong katawan, para sa edad 50 pataas, mag-Centrum Silver Advance. Multivitamins plus minerals is the generic name of Centrum Silver Advance. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Para sa extra resistensya at proteksyon pang buong katawan para sa edad 50 pataas, take Centrum Silver Advance every day. Kailangang lumabas ng bahay, magsuot ng face mask, magdala ng alcohol at listahan ng mga dapat bilhin para makaiwas sa COVID-19. Isang paalala mula sa ACS Manufacturing, maker of Smart Dishwashing Liquid.
Santon Plus Gold.
Kung nga pala, Sid, may nabuhan ako ng bukol sa aking suso.